Hello again, I'm Melinda Torres. Welcome back to the ESU Health Education and AToD Prevention Training Program. This module covers peer educator fundamentals. In this module, we'll cover your job requirements as peer educators. We'll discuss the behaviors and attitudes expected of peer educators, not only during work hours, but as role models for the community in general. We will discuss your training, student assistance, and administrative responsibilities and cover some basic rules and procedures. We'll provide an overview of the code of conduct and the agreements you'll be required to sign before beginning your job as a peer educator. You've been selected as peer educators because you've exhibited the necessary skills for the job. But just to reiterate, as peer educators, you will be required to develop and harness strong presentation skills as you interact with the student body. You need to develop strong communication skills not only for presenting programs, but also in order to engage in interpersonal dialogue with your fellow peer educators, the general student body, faculty, and administrators at ESU. As peer educators, you'll also need to have good time management skills. It is important to show up to presentations on time and make sure that you complete all of your required work during your allocated hours in the office. In the course of doing this, you will most likely need to work on multiple things at once. A flexible schedule and the ability to work evening hours is important to accommodate the presentation needs of various ESU organizations. In addition to working as a team, you will oftentimes be expected to work independently to create presentations. It's important to take note of any modifications or critical input provided by supervisors. Throughout your peer educator experience, you'll be exposed to working with diverse audiences and cultures. As you create programming content, it's important to keep this diversity in mind in order to ensure the most effective delivery of your presentations. Knowing how to effectively use Microsoft applications and Prezi will be an essential part of creating these presentations, but don't worry if you don't already know how to use Prezi, as we'll cover using it later on in this training program. Unlike some office jobs, being a peer educator requires more than task completion. Peer educators for the ESU Health Education and AToD Prevention Office are expected to maintain a positive attitude and demonstrate an eagerness to learn. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Because the areas we cover are so complex, it is important to continue to grow and learn. As we're learning, accepting constructive criticism allows us to refine our skills as peer educators. Because peer educators are role models for the community, you are expected to aspire toward leading an overall healthy lifestyle. Make sure to not only strive for this for yourself, but also empower others to lead healthy lifestyles as well. Harness your instinct to take initiative. Instead of waiting for directions, find ways to help whenever possible. Don't forget, as peer educators, you must drink responsibly and avoid the use of tobacco or other drugs. Encourage the same for those around you. Peer educators are expected to demonstrate the ideal characteristics of an active bystander at all times and make every effort possible to prevent any sexual misconduct. Don't worry if you're not yet sure what being an active bystander entails. We will discuss this further later on in the training program. Finally, as peer educators, make sure you take the opportunity to promote and enhance diversity whenever possible. The three main categories for peer educator responsibilities include job training, providing assistance to others, and administrative duties. When it comes to job training, you're already on your way to completing the first main task. This summer training program is designed to provide you much of the information you will need to know as peer educators, but since the subject area is so vast, it is not possible to provide all the information at once. As such, there will be various training programs throughout the semester which focus on specific topics relevant to the role of peer educators. Make sure to take all the training opportunities seriously and behave in an appropriate and productive manner. As peer educators, you will spend much of your time providing assistance to other students at ESU by presenting programs that the Health Education and AToD Prevention Office is asked to present. We're providing valuable information to the student body. In order to do this, you will often have to research topics, plan out and present programming content on various wellness issues. In addition to presenting program content, throughout the semester, we'll engage in various campus-wide promotions which focus on different areas of living a healthy lifestyle. Beyond this, as peer educators, you can assist students by becoming role models for healthy behaviors and provide resources to the students about all of the services provided by the Health Education and AToD Prevention Office. Administrative duties are another important aspect of being a peer educator and are essential to the overall efficiency of the Health Education and AToD Prevention Office. As peer educators, you are expected to attend staff meetings regularly and make sure to work all scheduled office hours. It is important to read and respond promptly to all emails sent by any of your supervisors, as they may contain time-sensitive information. You will also need to complete various performance tracking documents and activities. These include program evaluations, pre-tests, and post-tests. More information will be provided on how to complete these later on in the training program. Finally, as peer educators, you are expected to complete all other tasks assigned by a supervisor. Ensuring that we take care of these administrative duties in a responsible and timely fashion will allow the ESU Health Education and AToD Prevention Office to become a model for excellence. While performing the duties of a peer educator, there are a few rules and procedures to keep in mind. These rules are designed to ensure that everything runs smoothly and include topics such as office hours, scheduling, the office space, phone etiquette, and rules about the use of the computers and the copier. It is important to remember that the office is open from 8 a.m. until 4:30 p.m. Monday through Friday. Make sure you don't leave anything behind that you need to get after these hours. If you're presenting outside of these hours and absolutely must gain access to the office, you can call campus police, but remember this is only for absolute emergencies. Making sure to follow scheduling rules is an absolute must. It is important that you come into the office for all scheduled office hours. If you have a legitimate reason for missing any of your scheduled office hours, please notify all of your supervisors by email at least 24 hours in advance and provide a valid reason why. The first time you fail to provide advance notice, you'll be given a warning. After the second time, further action will be taken. Remember that you're responsible for making up all hours missed during the same week that you missed them. Be sure to email all supervisors with the date and time that you wish to make up your hours and get approval in advance. Since office space is limited, be sure to clean up after yourself and store all projects in your assigned mailbox. Don't forget to check your mailbox on a daily basis and look to see if there are any new flyers to put up. Also, check the evaluations folder to see if there's any data which needs to be entered. If any supplies are running low, then replace them. If we are all out of replacements, notify your supervisors so that more can be ordered. Basic phone etiquette will ensure that we represent ourselves in the best manner possible. People calling our office should be greeted with a message like this. Hello, Health Education AToD Prevention Office. This is Melinda speaking. How may I help you? If you need to take a message, be sure to get the caller's name and number. On the phone message form, make sure to include this information as well as the date and time in the caller's message. Be sure to include your name on the form for reference. Since we're lucky enough to have computers and a photocopier in the office, we need to remember to use them responsibly. Use the computers in the office for work-related purposes only. There are a limited number of computers available, so we need to be sure that they are always available for work-related use. The printers and copiers should always be used for health education and AToD prevention-related use. If you need to use a printer or computer, Kemp Library has printers and computers you can use. If for some reason the copier is not working, there is another in the Reedman Administration Building that we can use to make copies. Now that you know more about the expectations of peer educators and your role on campus, let's discuss the Code of Conduct. As a peer educator, you must sign an agreement stating that you promise to abide by the Code of Conduct. So then, what exactly does the Code of Conduct state? Essentially, the Code of Conduct explains that peer educators are responsible for encouraging a healthy lifestyle. You should promote substance-free activities and always drink responsibly. As peer educators, you must avoid the use of any tobacco products and all other drugs. Peer educators agree to offer resources to prevent others from abusing substances. Since you will be role models for the campus, it is important that you dress appropriately. Do not wear clothes with logos, brand names, or references to alcohol, tobacco, or any other drug. Make sure that you use appropriate language and carry yourself in a manner becoming of ESU Health Education and AToD Prevention peer educators. In addition to agreeing to the Peer Educator Code of Conduct, you must agree to the Privacy Act provision. Essentially, the Privacy Act provision states that information gained through duties as a peer educator are confidential and must not be disclosed without permission and only to the proper individuals. Unauthorized disclosure of any confidential information can lead to criminal charges and civil penalties. Even if legal action is not taken against you, the unauthorized disclosure of any confidential information is in violation of ESU policy and is grounds for immediate termination. Remember, documents with the full text of both the Peer Educator Code of Conduct and the Privacy Act provision are provided in this module. Make sure to read these through, print them out, sign them, and bring them to your first day of orientation. When you are ready, there is a quick check quiz which tests your knowledge of the information we just covered. Remember, if you do not get a perfect score, you can review this presentation and retake the quiz.